There are a lot of things a founder need to do after starting their very first startup. But as you go further, you realize that it's not just a lot of things. There are multiplied by a lot of things which they have to do. In this video, we'll discuss how data science can solve some of the problems with data. Let us get started, and let me introduce Sambit, who is from data science background. He's also an IIT graduate from Kharagpur, and let us see that how he applies data science from his mechanical engineering background to the manufacturing industry. Yes, Sambit, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I would say that data science is something which is quite pretty new. I had been using statistics, which is the older name for data science, since 2008. Using statistics, we have solved a lot of problems. So if I have to summarize what the older name statistics does, and what data science, the new sexier name that we call, does, is essentially one thing. It understands variously and the components of variously and helps you determine what is influencing when you have data out of randomness, right? So as an example, I will tell you, in a day, the temperature varies from 10 degree at night to 20 degree in the day, right? So this is pretty normal. Variation happens. Every day it happens. But suddenly, one day you see that the maximum temperature is 40 degree. Then it becomes very clear that something has changed, right? It becomes very apparent that something has gone wrong. So for example, if there is a fire, wildfire somewhere, suddenly temperature might go up. Or if it rains, then temperature might come down. Some event has actually changed it. But if the temperature varies from 20 degree to 21 degree to 22 degree to 19 degree, you would not say something has changed, right? Now these are all in human experiences. But the age has changed a lot. Now we are in an age where these experiential things that we are talking about is not experienced by any human being. But these are happening over a period of time, right? The applications could be anything. It could be stock market, it could be digital marketing, it could be manufacturing, it could be military, it could be aerospace, anywhere, right? Things happen, suddenly things happen which is beyond what is expected, and suddenly sometimes things are normal, right? So now we come to the marketing area which we are talking about. We do a lot of stuff, right? We run multiple campaigns, we run advertisements. How do you know that something is working and something is not working? There are two ways of doing it. Take the data out, study it manually, take a very subjective decision. Yes, I changed my campaign from A to B, and this helped me increase my revenue by so much more. Now the question remains, is that increase a random increase or is it a significant increase? If there is a reduction, is it a random reduction or is it a significant reduction? Right? So data science and statistics actually brings method into these randomness and tells you whether the increase that you are seeing is a significant increase or it's not. Whether the increase that you are seeing, whether it is a trend or is it a random, right? So now, why data science in marketing? The data science in marketing actually helps you do experiments at a very low cost. Determine whether what you're doing as a change is bringing you incremental revenue, incremental sales, or incremental view, whatever your targets are. And once you're sure, with a small investment of your time, money, effort, something is working as a strategy in a very small subgroup, or we call that a very small stratified sample, right? Then it's working. The experiment need not be very gross. The example that I'm talking to you is a very gross example. It could be it is working for men, it is not working for women. It is working for kids below the age of 5, it's not working for.
So we basically need to divide and segment all the audience first, and then we need to
Channelize and don't just get swayed away by random increases and random decreases. Statistically, there are tools which can help you statistically determine whether the increase or decrease or any impact of the change or the strategy that you're involving in or you're engaging in, is it actually delivering results? Once you're sure, data science helps you make sure of certain things. Then you run bigger experiments, right? Then you run the ad for 10 consecutive days, right? You gather more data, and instead of running these experiments, when you start your experiments, probably you can do 20 such experiments. Out of that, you can filter out and you can say that these 2 or 5 experiments have yielded results. Then you run this for a little longer time and see how it works. So this is how it works out, right? So data science is application in everything, including marketing, and I think marketing is one of the biggest area where we can use data science and analytics. And as I was telling you, today morning, in data science, we look for a numerator and a denominator, right? Numerator is something that you want to achieve, right? Or for example, additional or incremental revenue that you're getting, that becomes the numerator. Denominator is the amount of money that you're spending on ads.
Correct.
Or the amount of hours that you're spending creating SEO contents.
Correct.
Right. So these becomes the denominators. So our goal always remains chasing certain matrices. How do I increase my numerator divided by my denominator? Because it's not about absolutely how much money I'm spending. It's what am I getting in return of the money that I'm spending, or what is the return I'm getting in terms of the per effort, per hour of effort that I'm putting in.
Exactly. So basically, what you are trying to say is, using data science, we can analyze data and we can find out that what could be the possible ways we can improve the revenue of the company, and in the process, we'll find out that what could work out, what could not work out. You will find some golden nuggets that can really improve the focus of the company to generate more revenue, and it would be possible to focus on certain things rather than focusing wholesome approach and wasting a lot of money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's in essence at a very high level how analytics or data science can help. Right. And when we get into the nitty-gritties, there are a whole lot of things, there are a whole lot of tools that can help. When we talk about data science or machine learning, typically people understand regression, right? That's mostly the thing that is extended, and certain words which have become very popular, for example, ML models, right? So these are the things people think that they can do magic for us. But having said that, the real domain of data science is far richer, far elaborate, and far precise. As I would say, there are precise tools to do a number of different things, depending on what type of things you want to do, right? So it's not always that you build an AI model and the AI model does things. That comes in the fuzzy statistics logic, right? Whereas there are very standard and deterministic logics, right? Which can say the action that you have taken, is it yielding results or not, in a very definitive way. So all these tools are all available, provided people know which tool to be applied where, and what is to be done before they collect the data, what is to be done during collection of the data, and what are the follow-up steps that they need to do after they have collected the data and analyzed and found out some results.
Basically, what we understand here is, if you are trying to do your business in a very single straight line forward, try to bring changes in the company, try to collect data out of it, and then try to make sense out of it, right? And you need to spend a lot of time learning data science. If you are someone, you are a founder who doesn't know mathematics, who doesn't know probability, who doesn't know statistics, and who doesn't want to do all this calculation, you should find someone who can do that for you. You can find a consultant who can do that for you. And if you fail to find all of them, there is Sambit who is always available to help, right? He can always help you in understanding what could be your goal, what could be improved, or probably what kind of test that could be possibly bring the results. Success and failure is always has been the result of every experiment. But the goal of the company should be always that how can I get more success by doing a lot of experiments. Earlier in the day, we were talking about how linked, it's linked, right? What's the pen name?
Cello.
Earlier in the afternoon, we were talking about how Cello spends millions of dollars on producing 80 new types of pens and basically tests its products in the market and then finally comes up with 5 pens which can really lead the next few years. It might be 3 years, 5 years. And then next year again, they test 80 new products to again find the next year 5 products. So these companies, this $1 trillion and $1 billion companies, spends a lot of money in finding out what could be the real product and what could be the real product which can really get sold and will make the company sustainable and bring in more and more profit. Well, Sambit, thank you very much for coming in and sharing the details with the audience, and it was very interesting to listen all the technical thoughts as well as the business approach thoughts you have.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.